Yo, 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 CTB, Chin Tuck Boxing. I'm your boy Jay Slay. Say what up to him, man.
What's up, everybody? Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, comment. Let's keep this channel growing. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing.
Most definitely, most definitely. This is the place where the boxing fans come. Delicious entrees of boxing knowledge. What's on the menu for him today, bro?
Let's talk about Eddy Reynoso and his stable of fighters.
Let's do it, man. Let's serve him up. Eddy Reynoso, famed trainer, has a pretty impressive stable, man. A good stable of fighters, a solid stable of fighters. A lot of future world champs and current world champs. Let's start from the youngest to the oldest. The most promising fighter he has for his future is a young guy by the name of Ryan Garcia. He's a lightweight contender. In my opinion, he's top 5 at that weight. Yeah, man, give your opinions on young Ryan Garcia, man. What's your overall opinion
When
of the guy?
when I first started watching Ryan Garcia, I thought to myself was he can sell. He got a lot of Instagram followers. He got a lot of ladies that like him. He's gonna be popular. But I was thinking, how in the world is De La Hoya gonna protect this guy long enough to get him to the big money fights? Because honestly, I was like, he's not that good. I said he could probably beat C-level fighters, but even when he get to the B-level fighters, I said he's gonna struggle. So I was thinking, how in the world is De La Hoya gonna move this guy around to not get him beat by a lower class fighter? And he had a lot of holes in his defense. He's always had quick hands. He's always been explosive. So he had some nice highlight real knockout, but he had a whole bunch of holes in his game. But then he built a relationship with Canelo. He ended up changing his trainers, and he went to Eddy Reynoso. And the first fight, I started to see some difference in how he was looking in the ring. And by his second fight, I was starting to become more impressed, and I was like, "Yo, this guy isn't just good. If he keep projecting the way that he's gonna give anybody at 135 a lot of trouble." So he still got a little bit of holes in his defense, but he's so far ahead since he changed trainer. So I have to give Eddy Reynoso the complete credit because Ryan Garcia was not what he is today before he got with Eddy Reynoso and Canelo camp. He just need to stay out of jumping in his lap when he win a fight, jumping his arms. But other than that, I like the way he's going for the future.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I agree with everything you said, man. He came a long way since going to Eddy Reynoso, man. He got a mean left hook, man. That left hook is crazy. That left hook is deadly. It's quick. It catch a lot of fighters off guard. Even fighters, when they know it's coming, they don't see it coming. So it's a very good weapon. That seems like the staple weapon of most Eddy Reynoso fighters. A lot of them has that deadly left hook, man, which we'll talk more about it in this video. But yeah, like I said earlier in the video, to me, he's top 5 in that division. To me, I put him at number 5 in that division. I see him having a title in that division, man. Sooner or later, when Tank moves up or Devin Haney move up, it might be his division to take over. You never know. But we'll see, man. The future's bright for him, man. The next fighter, man, he just recently had a fight not too long ago. He looked really, really impressive. What was your overall opinion of Oscar Valdez? And what changes have you seen in him since joining Eddy Reynoso?
I thought he was a solid fighter, but honestly, when he fought his last fight, I thought he was gonna get steamrolled just by judging on what I had seen in the past. But then in the fight, man, when he fought his last fight, you could just see how he been working with Eddy Reynoso because he looked like a mini Canelo. Like the way his head movement, his upper body movement, and the way he was able to move and catch shots and fire his counters, in the line of fire, he looked like Canelo. The way Everything about him was like Canelo, other than his feet. I mean, his feet is better, but far as his counter punching, just moving around and his upper body movement, that's all Canelo. So I mean, I don't know how many fights exactly he's been with Eddy Reynoso, but he's another fighter, man, that if he keep growing, he could be a problem too. I think right now, I would like to see him fight, either Hearn, who just beat Carl Frampton, or I like to see him fight Shakur. If he's willing to jump up in that next fight, I don't know if Eddy Reynoso is ready for him to do that. I mean, if I had to choose somebody, I would say he would lose against Shakur, and I think him and Hearn would be a really good close fight. But I mean, I like where he going also.
I agree with you, man. I think we both agreed on that. The Bichette fight, the Miguel Bichette fight, we both picked Miguel Bichette to win.
Yeah.
Because we thought he was more experienced with the better competition on his resume. And we both was wrong about that fight, man. He wound up stopping Bichette in spectacular fashion with that mean left hook, man. Like I said, Eddy Reynoso training fighters without that left hook is stopping a lot of people, man, a lot of divisions. So, but yeah, I would love to see him in there with like a Stevenson Shakur. But I kind of like that Hearn fight. I'm not gonna lie. I think I took that fight first. Cause you seen a couple of flaws in Hearn this weekend when he fought Frampton. You see a couple of flaws. I think there will be a great fight for Oscar Valdez to come back in on. To be honest, that's probably the perfect fight to make next, if you ask my opinion, because they both recently just had victories, knockout victories. They both need a great fight like that to market themselves with. I think it's a match made in heaven.
And I think Shakur.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I think top rank, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. I still hold out hope for that good fight, man. I hope top rank don't get in the way of that one. But it's kind of the same issue with Shakur also. Shakur, he's between promotional companies too, so I'm pretty sure a fight being made with him won't be easy either. So, but we'll see, man. It's like I said, the future's bright for that young man also. But on to probably the newest member of the camp, the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. Damn, I forgot to say. Andy Ruiz. There you go.
But
Andy Ruiz. What's your opinion of? I think we haven't watched a lot of Andy Ruiz with him yet. We haven't had the opportunity to watch him fight yet, but we have seen training of him. We have seen him lose a lot of weight, man. You see him trim down a lot in weight.
Yeah.
We see his hand speed, which is already always impressive, but now we see his hand speed looking kind of familiar, man. How do you think he'll look in his next fight against Areola? Now that he's in the camp of all camps, the Reynoso camp.
It's gonna be an entertaining fight, and he's gonna beat the crap out of him. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty much tailor-made for him to look great. So with his hand speed and how Chris just sits there and he just takes shots with his face, he's gonna look good. But it's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be a great fight to watch. I know people. I think might be on pay-per-view or something. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know how true that is.
It is on pay-per-view. I think it's $50.
It'll do good numbers with the Mexican fan base.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be entertaining. I think it'll be a good fight. I think he'll look good in the fight. And man, like you said, he has the fastest hands in the heavyweight division. So if you take his hand speed and you make Eddy Reynoso his trainer, that guy could be a problem for anybody in the heavyweight division. If I'm a heavyweight fighter, I'm not fighting him for the next couple fights. I got to sit back and watch how he look, because he gonna have so many different new wrinkles to his game that you probably want to see what he got, because he's gonna look like a different fighter to me. And the thing that's most that intrigues me the most about him is how Eddy Reynoso is keeping him focused, because in his other camps with his other trainer, they said that he couldn't keep focused. He couldn't stop eating. He had weight problems. He didn't want to come to train certain days. He wouldn't want to show up to train. And it seemed like ever since he got with this camp, he's been, focused. And maybe watching Canelo and seeing to me, the best pound for pound fighter day in and day out, has really motivated him to know that if I want to be as great as Canelo, this is what I got to do. This guy is worth, I don't know, Canelo got a lot of money. And this guy getting up out of his bed, you know, first thing in the morning, working his ass off day in and day out. So I think that right there is also pushing him. So, man, I'm excited, man, to see what he's going to look like in his next fight.
Yeah, I agree with you, man, about everything. I think he's going to dog the hell out of Areola for as long as it lasts. I see him stopping Areola, man. To be honest, it might be in the mid rounds. Areola do have a good chin on him. Mm-hmm. He do take a beating pretty well, but I don't see him having nothing for Ruiz, man. His hands is too fucking fast and too deadly, man. And from what I have seen of him in training, just him hitting the mitts and hitting the bag, he moves well for a heavyweight, man. With the head movement, the foot movement, the bobbing and weaving in and out, man. He looks like I've been saying this whole video, like a big Canelo, man. Like a really, really big Canelo, a heavyweight Canelo in there, man. And kind of what you said about the other heavyweights not wanting to fight him in a while. I think they don't have no choice. They're not gonna have a choice but to fight him. If you do good pay-per-view numbers with Areola, if they want to get that money, that payday, they're gonna have to fight Andy Ruiz. He's gonna be a cash cow at heavyweight, man.
Yeah.
So he already proven, he already the former unified champ, the first Mexican ever to have a heavyweight title. So that by itself is star power for Mexico. So he's like Canelo, man. He's bringing the whole nation on his back. So you, as a heavyweight, if I'm Dillian White or Luis Ortiz or any one of them guys that need a big fight, and the champions are all tied up, I'm looking at Ruiz, man. Like, man, I might even hop on this fight and get and see if I can take Ruiz's spot and get to that risk, man. To be honest. But yeah, I look forward to watching this growth, man. Like you said, he's focused now. Been surrounded by champions, and greatness will do that for anybody in any walk of life, man. You can be, if you're a janitor and your supervisor is the best cleaner in the building, you want to be the second best cleaner in the building. You know what I'm saying? You just greatness rub off on everybody. But with that being said, he's probably around the greatest of all greats right now, currently. Mm-hmm. Number 2 pound for pound on your list. Number 1 pound for pound. Number 2 on my list. On your pound list. For pound, and then number 1 pound for pound on your list. Canelo AlVAREZ, man. Saul Canelo AlVAREZ. Currently the boxing cash cow. Mm-hmm. The
former 175 pound champion.
Yeah, from 154 all the way up to 175. Mm-hmm. Had a bunch of great stoppages lately. Hand speed still look amazing. Canelo's still Canelo, man. He's still the best counter punch in the game to me. That's hands down to me. What's your overall thoughts, man? He's been with Eddy Reynoso his whole career, so most of his career. So what's your overall opinion of his growth over the years? Coming from a young man. Matter of fact, he came from boxing at 15 years old. So coming from boxing at 15 years old, professional, to now, what kind of growth you see him since then?
I mean, the thing is, he came out fast. A lot of people don't know or seem to forget he had like 40-something fights by like 20.
Yeah.
So he came out smoking. Like, they might not have been great fighters, but he came out fighting a lot at a young age. And then, to me, he kind of hit a wall. You know, and he didn't seem like he was really developing that great to me. He was getting there, but when I seen him, I didn't see what he is today. I said, yeah, he's gonna be a good fighter, but I didn't think he would be great. Mm-hmm. And then he fought Mayweather, and instead of, like he said on an interview recently, he was like, he didn't lose the Mayweather. He learned from Mayweather, which helped him be what he is today. And you know, he has no shame in admitting to that Mayweather taught him a lot. And if you watch him today, he uses a lot of Mayweather tricks. Mm-hmm. And every time I see him fight, he pulls a new trick out. And I'd be like, whoa, that's Mayweather. He done pulled another one of Mayweather. So, I don't know how many times he done watched that fight, but he must have watched the fight 100 times because to me, he's a different fighter. Even with his stamina, I think he's improved. But I think that's the only thing that's slightly in question with me. He has a little stamina issue, but I mean, and his feet, he got real slow feet, but his body movement is so elite and counterpunching is so elite that it's almost impossible to take advantage of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, to me, man, like I don't know anybody out there that can beat Canelo. I mean, the way Eddy Reynoso have brought him up from, like you said, from his teen years to now, he's pretty much almost a perfect fighter as far as where he needs to be at. I mean, because like as far as his feet, they not gonna get better. And then he had knee trouble, so it is what it is. But he adjusted for that. He adjusted. He worked on his upper body movement, his counter punching to kind of make up for his lack of mobility. And now, man, he's sharp. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see him. I mean, the guy's fought a lot of people, so I don't want to jump on him too much because his resume is probably one of the best resumes in boxing next to somebody like Pacquiao. But it's probably one of the best resumes in boxing. But I would really like to see him after the Billy Joe Saunders and the other fight would be Caleb Plant, it looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
In 2022, kind of like it was with Triple G, he got tired of people talking and he said, okay, I'm gonna give you what you want. I kind of need him to go into that mode as far as with the Charlo and David Benavidez. We need to see those fights in 2022. You know, so I don't have a problem with him taking those other fights this year because they are still dangerous fighters who are capable of beating him if he's not on his A game. So people jump on him for fighting Billy Joe Saunders, which I understand a little bit, but then Caleb Plant, these guys, they ain't no slouches. Now his last fight was I didn't like it, but he fought that guy on like a 6 week after his last fight. So
yeah,
pretty much knocked that fight out to get it out the way, and then he's back to business. So that's how I feel about him, man. My number one pound for pound in the world.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, most of that, man. I agree with it, man. Yeah, for sure. Mayweather probably was the best thing that could happen to him. I know he would prefer to have won that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he took more lessons in that loss than he would have in the victory. I think if he would have beat Mayweather, he would never smelt this doo-doo. Like he would have thought he was the man. He couldn't be beat. He wouldn't have changed his game up at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think him fighting Mayweather was the best thing for his career. Like you said, I see him doing Canelo moves, Mayweather moves in every fight, from everything from the pull counters to the shoulder rolls to the fake jab uppercuts that he threw. Now he stole all that from Mayweather, man. That's nothing but fluid. So as far as seeing somebody that can beat him, I give Benavidez a decent shot, not a great shot. I think the best person I see beating him is Charlo, man. I think Charlo has a really decent chance of beating him with the long jab and everything he has, all his attributes that he has. But other than that, man, I don't see nobody else stopping or getting close to beating Canelo, man, at this level, man. I think Canelo, until he start getting older and start showing like decline and from age, I don't see nobody being close to like stopping him or beating him.
Tell me why he's your number 2 and not your number 1.
Because you going to a personal thing, but he did get caught cheating before. He did get caught where elevated can breed all levels. You can't just sweep that under the rug. To me, he lost against Lara. I gave Lara that fight. So with that being said, you have an undefeated guy in Crawford who pretty much dominated everybody he beat and moved up in weight. And like I said, ever since Andre Ward, I kind of passed the torch from Ward to Crawford, just because of those 2 reasons. It's pretty much the only 2 reasons why I don't like Canelo my number 1. But I mean, it's subjective though. A lot of people don't see that as an issue. They say Canelo has the best resume, which he does. He does have the best current resume of any fighter, even of Pacquiao, only because Pacquiao lost so many fights. But I would say, judging off a skill level of them both fighting Mayweather, I would still say Pacquiao did better against Mayweather than Canelo did, because Pacquiao did touch Mayweather up twice, and I don't remember Canelo even touching Mayweather at all.
He did.
So, yeah, but that's why I will have him on number 2 pound for pound though. But yeah, this is our breakdown, man, of probably the best roster, the best camp in the game right now, man, for real, which is Eddy Reynoso, man. He has a really, he has a great stable, man, a great stable of young fighters and current world champions and motivated heavyweights, pretty much a heavyweight right now. So let us know in your comment section, man, what stable of fighters, what camp can compete with Eddy Reynoso's camp, man. Is there any of them? Let us know your best stable, man. With that being said, this is CTB. I'm your boy Jay Slay. Cut him out of here, man.
Well, I'll let y'all out of here. I do want to highlight and say that we do want to highlight different trainers. So, I mean, big up to Derek James, big up to Bomac, big up to Robert Garcia. I might be missing a couple others, but just it's some other ones that we thought about too.
Bomac.
And who?
Yeah, Bomac.
Yeah, Bomac. So we want to highlight them probably. So let us know how y'all feel about it, and we'll highlight each one because they all got a reason for saying why they should be number one. So we thought about all these guys, and eventually we're gonna get to all the trainers because we want to get them trainers some love for how they develop the fighter. So maybe next time we'll do Derek James or Bomac or Robert Garcia. Y'all let us know who y'all want us to do. But thank y'all for tuning into the show. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button. Keep the channel growing. Tell your people at work about it. Your mother, your brother, your father, your aunt, your uncle, your friend, girlfriend. Don't matter. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing. But most of all, peace and love, and we out of here.